Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Miss Phelan here on this gloomy, sad, and rainy Tuesday on March 24th, 2020. If we were in school today, it would be the 143rd day of school. Now, I'm going to give you a math problem, so if you want to pause me for a moment, get some paper, whatever you want to do to write on, get some out, because we're going to work out how many days we have left of school, even though we're not really in school. So we know we have 180 days in the whole school year. Correct? We know that there have been 143 days in the school year. So we have our whole, we have our part. So we need to figure out the part that's missing. And the part that is missing is how many days of school we have left. So you have to subtract the part from the whole. So if you go ahead, I'm going to give you a second. You can pause me. Go ahead and try to work this math problem out. I'm going to work it out, and then I'm going to show you the answer, and you can compare and see what you got. Okay, I'm going to warn you. I'm going to show you my answer. So make sure you have yours. You are ready to check it. Ta-da! There are 37 days left in our school year. So what we did, we took 180 minus 143. Now first I started with the ones, because you always start with the ones when you're subtracting like this. I can't take 3 away from 0, so I have to take a 10 from over here and put it with my ones over here. So now I have 7, which is actually 70, not 7, but it's 70. And then I make this a 10 because I'm adding the 10 to those ones right there. So I have 10 minus 3 equals 7. And then 7 minus 4 equals 3. And 1 minus 1 equals 0. So I hope you got it right. If you can comment or send me a message in your parents' class tag messages to let me know what you got. You can take a picture, let me see your work. I'll give you a thumbs up, let you know how you did. But 37 days left in school. That is crazy. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue reading Wayside School is Falling Down. If you remember, we were just stuck in Miss Jules' class or Mrs. Zarv's class for about 3 days, and Allison finally got out. So what we're going to do today is we're going to continue on reading, and there's Salem. Salem, say hi, buddy. We're going to continue reading. Today's chapters are all combined into one chapter, chapter 20, 21, and 22, titled Eric, Eric, and Eric. So let's go ahead and start. Mr. Kidswatter's voice crackled over the loudspeaker. "Mrs. Jules, send Eric to my office at once." He sounded mad. Mrs. Jules was confused. "When did we get a loudspeaker?" she asked. "Louis put it in yesterday," said Jenny. Mrs. Jules was still confused. There were 3 Erics in her class. She didn't know which one Mr. Kidswatter meant. Eric Fry was big but not short. Eric Bacon was big but was short but not big. Eric Ovens was short and big. Mrs. Jules chose the biggest Eric. "Eric Fry, Mr. Kidswatter wants to see you." Eric Fry trembled as he slowly stood up. The other 2 Erics smiled. The principal's office was on the 1st floor. It's not fair, Eric thought as he headed down to his doom. Anytime any Eric does something wrong, I'm the one who gets in trouble. He stood in front of the principal's door. His heart beat very fast. He took a couple of breaths, then knocked lightly. "Enter!" boomed Mr. Kidswatter. Eric turned the doorknob. He took 1 step inside, then stood with his back against the wall, as far away from Mr. Kidswatter as he could get. Mr. Kidswatter sat behind an enormous desk. He wore mirrored sunglasses, so Eric couldn't tell where he was looking. "Sit down, Eric," he said. Eric moved to the small metal chair in front of the desk. A bare light bulb hung above his head. Mr. Kidswatter cracked his knuckles. "We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way," he said. "It's your choice." "I don't know what you're talking about," said Eric. "I didn't do anything." "So it's the hard way, is it?" asked Mr. Kidswatter. "Very well. You'll talk. One way or another, you'll tell me everything I want to know." "But," Mr. Kidswatter pounded his fist on his desk. When was the last time you sharpened your pencil? Eric tried to remember, but he was too nervous to think. Wait, let me think, he stammered. We had a spelling test on Friday, but I borrowed... Where were you yesterday afternoon at 12:15? Asked Mr. Kidswatter. Yesterday? Asked Eric. I was here at Wayside School. I remember I ate lunch and then I played kickball. Mr. Kidswatter smiled. Do you kick with your left foot? He asked. No, I'm right-footed, said Eric Fry. Grumbled Mr. Kidswatter. Have you ever gotten your hair cut at Charlie's barber shop? Yes, said Eric, 2 weeks ago. Aha, said Mr. Kidswatter. So you admit it. Do you know what a mugworm griblick is? Eric Fry turned pale. No, please, he begged. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. You got the wrong Eric. There are 2 other Erics in my class. Mr. Kidswatter scowled. So that's the way you're going to play it, is it? Well, that's fine with me. I've got all the time in the world. He flicked on the microphone. Mrs. Jules, send me another Eric. 29 floors above them, Mrs. Jules looked at the 2 remaining Erics. Okay, Eric Evans, she said. Eric Evans shivered. His eyes filled with tears. Why me? He asked himself over and over again as he walked down the stairs. It's my parents' fault. Why did they have to name me Eric? Why couldn't they name me Osgood? He tapped on the door to the principal's office. Come in, bellowed Mr. Kidswatter. Eric Evans gulped, then walked inside. He sat in the little chair in front of Mr. Kidswatter's enormous desk. Eric Fry was nowhere to be seen. What happened to Eric Fry? He asked. I'll ask the questions, barked Mr. Kidswatter. But don't worry, Eric, he said gently. You have nothing to fear, so long as you tell the truth. He cracked his knuckles. Eric Evans was very scared. Mrs. Jules always said that there was more than one answer to every question. He hoped he gave Mr. Kidswatter the right ones. Did you have a spelling test last Friday? Mr. Kidswatter asked. Yes, said Eric Evans. How did you know that? I have my ways, Mr. Kidswatter said slyly behind his mirrored glasses. When was the last time you sharpened your pencil? This morning, said Eric Evans. Mauricia accidentally stepped on it, and did you play kickball yesterday at 12:15? No, I played tetherball. Right or left-handed? Right. Mr. Kidswatter tossed a stapler at him. Eric caught it with his right hand. Mr. Kidswatter scowled. Okay, Eric, tell me this. Have you ever gotten your hair cut at Charlie's barber shop? No, but I will. I'll go right now if you want. You're not going anywhere, shouted Mr. Kidswatter. Have you ever heard of a mugworm griblick? Eric Evans screamed, Ah! Upstairs, Mrs. Jules heard Mr. Kidswatter's voice resound over the loudspeaker. Mrs. Jules, send me the last Eric. On my way, said Eric Bacon. He hopped out of his chair and bounced down the stairs. He didn't bother knocking on Mr. Kidswatter's door. He just walked right in. What can I do for you? He asked. There was no sign of Eric Evans. Have a seat, said Mr. Kidswatter. I just want to ask you a few questions. Sure thing, said Eric Bacon. He sat in a little chair. He leaned back with his hands behind his head and his feet up on Mr. Kidswatter's desk. He looked at himself in Mr. Kidswatter's mirrored glasses, took a comb out of his back pocket, and combed his hair. His hair was very neat and trim. He had gotten it cut yesterday at 12:15 at Charlie's barber shop. Mr. Kidswatter cracked his knuckles. I don't think I can do it again. Nope. There it goes. When's the last time you sharpened your pencil? He asked. November 11th, Eric Bacon announced, right away. It was 3 minutes before 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I remember because my watch stopped. Where were you yesterday at 12:15? I was in the garden having tea. Did Mauricia step on somebody's pencil this morning? Asked Mr. Kidswatter. Yes. Whose? She stepped on everybody's pencil, said Eric Bacon. Are you left-handed or right-footed? Demanded Mr. Kidswatter. I write with my left foot and I kick with my right hand, replied Eric Bacon. Mr. Kidswatter scowled. Have you ever gotten your hair cut at Charlie's barber shop? No, I never get my hair cut, said Eric Bacon. I'm bald. This is a wig. Mr. Kidswatter took off his glasses and glared at him. Do the words mugworm griblick mean anything to you? Eric Bacon shook his head. I can look it up in the dictionary if you want. Mr. Kidswatter shook his head. I tried that, he said. It's not there. He rubbed his chin. Okay, boys, you can come out now. Eric Evans and Eric Fry crawled out from under the desk. Mr. Kidswatter looked at each Eric. One of you is lying, he said. I don't know who it is, but I'll find out, and when I do, whoever it is will be very sorry. Now, I'll give you one last chance to come clean. Eric Fry trembled. Eric Evans shivered. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand, said Eric Bacon. He walked out of the room. The other two Erics followed. Mr. Kidswatter rubbed the back of his neck. He looked at the white card on top of his desk. On one side it said, Charlie's Barber Shop. Under that, in blue ink, it said, Eric, Tuesday, 12:15. He turned the card over. On the other side, a left-handed person had written with a sharp pencil, Mr. Kidswatter is a mugworm griblick. So somebody wrote that note, and they don't know who it is. Which Eric do you think it is? Eric Ovens, Eric Fry, or Eric Bacon? All right, guys, tomorrow's chapter is chapter 23, Teeth. I'm excited to find out what's going to happen. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you can get a little bit of movement going, even though it's a little gross outside. You could probably go out for a little bit. I will probably be hanging out inside, maybe do some Go Noodle, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.